Time now for our rants and raves, starting with Dan.
Okay, I have a rant for John Robinson Block, the publisher of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, who last Saturday entered the newsroom in a rage and, according to some of the accounts of his behavior, intoxicated, and began ranting about an anti-block sign in the newsroom that said, "Shame on the blocks." And we have a kind of a grainy clip of what happened from WTAE.
So Dan, that's Block there, standing in front of the sign that says "Shame on the Block."
Yes.
And by the way, the editors and reporters in that newsroom are trying to reason with him and say, "You got to go now. You got to go."
There were 4 reporters in the newsroom, members of the Guild, who took notes and put out reports of this because they tried to deny that it happened.
By the way, just to clarify, somebody sent that to WTA.
Yes,
and they
that's
played
right.
It,
The blocks are destroying the paper. David Shribman, their terrific editor, took retirement last year. Supposedly not because of this, but he was only 64 years old. This is a great franchise, and they've really got to get a hold of this.
All right, Adam.
I want to rave for Brian Karam, who is the White House correspondent for Playboy. And went toe-to-toe. I don't read his articles.
You read it for the articles?
But he went toe-to-toe with President Trump after the president declared a national emergency. Let's take a look at some video.
What do you base your facts on?
Come on, let's go.
Secondly...
No, you get one. You get one.
Well, the second
Just
question
sit down.
is...
Wait, sit down. Sit down.
Could you please answer
Sit down. You get one question. I get
please.
my numbers from a lot of sources, like Homeland Security.
Could you share those stats with us?
Let me tell you, you have stats that are far worse than the ones that I use, but I use many stats.
What I love about that, so what he was trying to do was to get the president to explain how this state of emergency that he's declared squares with numbers that the federal government itself is generating, which suggests that the president's claims are not factual. I love that he did not sit down when the president told him to sit down, that he remained standing, that he kept pursuing the answers he wasn't getting, even after he...
Well, that's what Jim, what's his name, did.
Yeah, but I think this guy did it with more grace than Jim Acosta, because I didn't get the sense watching him that he was preening or that he was, looking forward to going home and watching video of himself having this exchange. I just think he was a reporter trying to do his job.
I wonder if Trump knew who he was.
I don't know, but I loved his style.
Maybe because he reads Playboy? Who knows? I'm just saying, he's a Playboy correspondent. I have a rant rave. I don't know how to think about this. This is Fox has a new media marketing campaign called America is Watching. They have a map of America with a lot of red states showing you where they're number one in terms of viewership. But they're shifting who they want you to pay attention to on the channel. So instead of the Sean Hannitys and all the other opinion people, the Laura Ingrams, who, by the way, some retailers have removed their ads from, and other people have boycotted, they're now asking you to pay attention to the news people. Martha McCallum, Brent Baer, Chris Wallace, who've always been there, who've been doing news, but they want you to think of Fox not just as the opinion people. Note that Shep Smith's name is not in this lineup. But the point is, we do news, and not only do we do news, we have newsmakers news breaking here on our channel, and everybody's watching us. So maybe that takes the heat off some of the other people who have driven a lot of sponsors away, and they can't afford to lose.
They don't want to promote Shep Smith, we should say, because he's too reasonable.
I guess so. But Brent Baer is, and Martha, I don't know Martha McCallum well, but Chris Wallace has done some good stuff. It's very interesting. It's a different approach for them. They've trademarked this. America is watching. This is a time, I guess, where everybody has a slogan. We have democracy dies in darkness, while America's watching, apparently.
They got rid of, what was the other one? We report you to...
You decide. That was their old one.
Oh,
yeah, that was.
But they're not going to put them on in prime time, are they?
No. Well, there you go.
All right, Joanna.
So I've got a rant about the ongoing coverage of the Jussie Smollett story. This is the guy. He was the star. He is the star of Empire, star of the show Empire. A couple weeks ago, he alleged that he was attacked in Chicago by 2 people who yelled some kind of a MAGA slogan and put a rope around his neck. I mean, it was sort of a horrifying allegation. Everyone on the left then jumped onto Twitter to say how horrible America was. Then there was a kind of weird police investigation, and drip, some sources started telling some Chicago TV stations that they were investigating whether it was actually a hoax and he was involved. And then everyone on the right got on Twitter and started to complain about how awful America is. It is really hard to follow a story like this for anyone, but in this sort of Twitter age when everyone's going to jump on it with a hot take, it makes it that much harder. I don't know what the solution is, but my head is spinning.
It feels like there's some veracity to the story. More and more is coming out.
It looks like it's less of a hoax than it did a few days ago.
All right, finally tonight, I have a rave. Last night I happened to tune in to Channel 5. I can't remember what hour. I was early, probably 6 o'clock, for Kathy Curran, who I've raved about before. She had the most riveting story about how prisoners get K2 in jail. It was, they spray K2 on a letter, write the letter, and then when the letter comes in, dogs can't sniff it out, machines can't sniff it out, and then the inmates cut the thing up and ingest it. And they've been doing it for decades. Thousands of inmates have had overdoses and other things happen to them. She had the cut. It was riveting. So congratulations, Channel 5. I was really blown away by that.